extract and analyze the information these PDF contains instead of going through each of the pages. Also, I need to extract the important information out of these PDFs and store it into some structured database. That can be a SQL database or some other database. Can I do that? Let's see. Hi, my name is Shobhit Tyagi. Welcome to my channel, Analytix Brains. So before going into the extraction of the data, let's first understand what is the role of NLP and what is NLP is all about. So guys, if you have seen my previous videos which I had uploaded, so there I had given clearly understanding around what is NLP, what is the benefit of NLP, why we need NLP in the field of AI, what is the different applications that NLP provide. But before going that, let's quickly do some recap. So what is NLP? So NLP stands for natural language processing. It is a field of AI that focus of enabling computers to understand, interpret and generate human language. So basically whatever sentence, whatever words we are uttering from our mouth, right? So using NLP, our computer, our AI system, our robots understand what exactly humans are speaking, what is the intent behind the words that we are speaking. So which comes to the questions, what NLP do basically? What are the applications of NLP? So the first application is, NLP, it allows the machine to read and extract meaning from text to speech. Okay, so if you have seen or if you ever heard about Alexa, right? What Alexa do? Alexa, or if you talk about Alexa, we are speaking, we are giving some instruction to Alexa. Alexa is a machine, right, which internally using the help of NLP to understand, to convert, to decode our speech into the text, and then that text is being transmitted to internally to the libraries or the songs, whatever available in their directory, and accordingly it will play that music. Okay, so what NLP does, the first application is that it allows the machine to read and extract the meaning from text or speech. So this is the first application of NLP. What next we have? It also helps us to understand and relationships between words. Now this is something very important for us. So when we are talking about understanding or extracting the information, right, so this play a very important role of understanding the context and the relationships. So if we see the statement over here, Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco on 24th Feb 1955. Okay, so this is, you can think of it as a one statement or one sentence, and using NLP, what it will do, it will identify what are the objects, or you can say what are the nouns which this sentence is specifically talking about, what are the verbs this statement contains, which we call this part as a parsing. You can call it as a dependency parsing. What is dependency parsing? Again, you can go and check my previous videos where I had talked about what is dependency parsing. So if you have seen, Steve Jobs' noun was born, then we have prepositions, we have another noun, we have another numbers or something. So all these vocabulary combined together and had created one statement for us. So what NLP it will do, it will identify the different nouns, the categories of noun, and then it will also identify the relationship between those categories. We call these categories as an entities. Okay, what are entities? Entities are specifically, you can say, are the names or the nouns which defines or which categorize the words into different vocabulary. So if we say Steve Jobs, so Steve Jobs is a person. So wherever we found some name like Robin, David, so all those people will fall under the category of person. Okay, 24th Feb 1955 is a date, so this again will fall under the date. San Francisco is something, a location, right, or you can say a place, so this will fall under the category of place. So these are all broad level of entities, and these entities helped us to identify the relationship between these different entities. So the entity, person and the place are linked with the help of a action or the relationship bond in. Okay, how person and date are linked together was born on. So this is again another relationship. So how this thing will help, that we want to see when was Steve Jobs born. Okay, so we internally interpret the question what exactly we are talking about. So when we talk about when, so it's specifically focusing on the date or time. So when is something 24th February 1955, Steve Jobs. Okay, when Steve Jobs was born, so it will identify the entity Steve Jobs from the nomenclature from the entities and predict the value of the date will be 24th Feb 1955. So this is one of the basic or very simple form of how we can extract the information from the text. Okay, let's go to next. Again, this is another application which is specifically talking about it helps us to respond intelligently to human input. Example, we can think of it as a chatbot where user can query or ask any question either in the form of a speech, or he can type the question or the statement, and accordingly it will give you the result intelligently. Let's suppose I want, hey, give me the record of past 6 months about the people who has done fraud in the bank. So it will intelligently understand that question, interpret it into the query, create that query, execute that query in the database, and give me the record. So this is another application of NLP. Let's see what are the common use cases which we can create using NLP. We all have seen, or you guys have seen something like real text classification. So this is another category which helps us which NLP can be commonly applied. So in case of the identifying whether the email is a spam or is an important email, okay, or what is this email is talking about. So all those are the part of text classification. Sentiment analysis, again another very big use case of social network analysis. Sentiment analysis, this has been helped and this has been used in almost all the big verticals you can think of, as healthcare, financial, banking. So they do sentiment analysis on their data, on their customer data, and that helps them to define the value of their product. So based on the sentiments, they understand what exactly people are thinking about their product, their services, and based on that they can take some decisions. Question answering, simple case we can think of the chatbot where user can ask a question and it will get the answer. Machine translation, we all use Google Translator. What Google Translator will do, we can select the input language, like we can select English, we want to convert into the Chinese. That can be done with the help of the machine translation. So internally, if we say it's a very complex process which contains a lot of encoder, decoders, and a lot of architecture which is helping them to translate one language or decode that one language to another language. Then again, you can say document summarization, the one which I was talking about. So we have a big chunk of document, we have a big corpus of document, and we just need to summarize the big chunk of document into some paragraphs. So that is again another application or common use case of NLP. Okay, so as I was talking about, we will be doing a lot of work on data extraction, right? So before extracting the data, let's see what is data. So data is primarily categorized into three things: structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. What is structured data? We all had seen structured data basically in our life. So any data, any form of data which is stored in the form of a table, that data will categorize as a structured data. Or the data which you can readily find in your Excel or CSV file, the data which you can specifically query and get the values, or the data which you can store in the form of a rows and column. Those are the part of the structured data. Next, unstructured data. What is unstructured data? The data which we have in the videos, images, emails, all those are the part of unstructured data. Means we cannot store the videos in the form of a table. The only way we can store these videos in the form of a table is that once we identify what this video is talking about, once we extract the information from those videos, once we extract the information from that email, then only we can store that information in the form of a table, right? So this is an example of an unstructured data. Again, in real world, in almost all the big organizations, or you can say our top 100 MNCs in US, most of their data, 90% of their data is unstructured in nature. And that is the place where we have the algorithms and models, or a lot of work is going on in the field of a Gen AI, or a lot of work is happening in the field of an AI or NLP. Okay, we'll definitely go and understand what is Gen AI is all about, how can we leverage these Gen AI, but all those we will cover in the later videos. So yeah, keep in touch. Then we have a semi-structured data. So as the name says, it is the combination of unstructured plus structured data. Example is a JSON example. We all had seen a JSON. A JSON is something in our language, in a Python, we call it as a dictionary, where we have one key, and with that key some values are associated with it. So if you see this JSON, name Alice, age 30, skills Python SQL. So this name is a key, Alice is a value. So where we have this type of nomenclature, we call this as a JSON. XML, another, where we store the information in the form of a tag. So we have a tag by the name user, right? And this tag contains the value of name, age. So this is another example of semi-structured data, because we cannot directly store this into the structured data or the tabular data. The only medium is that we need to transpose or transform this data into the structured data. Okay, like we need to extract the fields or the columns from it, like name, age and skill, and then only we can feed the input into it. Okay, so whenever we extract the information from the videos, from the images, so we extract that information in the form of a JSON mostly. Okay, because that structure of a JSON can be expandable. We can store it in various databases like MongoDB, DynamoDB, etc. Now, how we can extract the information from the unstructured data? So let's suppose we have a PDF, emails, or a lot of Word document file. So we need to leverage some of the libraries, libraries you can say are the tools which we can use to extract the information in Python. Okay, so there are a lot of PDF text parsing libraries that are available. We have PyPDF, we have pdfplumber for PDFs. Okay, we have FIDs. There are a lot of libraries that are available. Now which library we can go, which we can use, is again depend on your use case. So if you talk about PDFs, PDF can contains the small statements, PDF can contains the complete set of text, PDF may contains the table, PDF may contains the form, PDF may contains the images. So depending on the nature or the structure of the PDF, we can select a specific library for our extraction. If we have a data in the document file or Word document file, we can use the library docs. Then if you want to extract the information from the email, we can directly go, mostly used by the library by the name email. We can use the standard Python libraries for this. So all these libraries are the can be used in the Python. Okay, now if you need to extract the information from the images or the scanned documents, how can we do that? So in Python, you can leverage the tool or a package or a library by the name PyTesseract. What is PyTesseract is? PyTesseract helps us to identify the objects or extract the information from the images. So it internally encode the image into pixels. Okay, break those pixels, identify the object in that image, and then extract the information. That can be a word, that can be a statement, that can be a combination of words. So if you want to extract the information from the images, so you can use the PyTesseract. We'll do that. We will be doing some hands-on PyTesseract also in the later videos. So yeah, stay tuned. We can use various APIs, Google Vision API. We can go, if we are using the cloud, we can use Recognizer from Azure. So since these two are paid one, if you want to freely experience something, if you want to try and test something on the image, you can directly download PyTesseract library and you can directly use it. Okay, so there are a lot of tools we can leverage in NLP. We can, if you talk about NLP tools, we can use Spacey. What is Spacey? As I mentioned in my previous videos also, Spacey is responsible for extracting the entities from the text. So if you talk about entities can be name, location, person, date, number, time, organization, title, etc. So those are all the, so Spacey contains the library or the dictionary of these entities and along with their specific tag. Now we know that currently in today's time, a lot of things are happening in Gen AI, right? So we can leverage the tool, or we can use the interfaces, we can use the framework like Hugging Face, we can use the ChatGPT. So these provides the LLMs, these provide the good text embedding models or text extraction models. So we can leverage these models also, because these provides high efficiency in case of very complex data or in case of large amount of data. Okay, now let's quickly look into one of the example. How can we do, what is this unstructured data, how can we extract that information, and how can we store that information? So we are talking about PDF. We know that PDF contains all sort of unstructured data. So let's suppose you have thousands of PDFs, okay, and from 1000 PDF you are processing one PDF at a time. It's a sequential process. You are taking one PDF from a list of PDF. Simply think of it as a for loop, right? So, and this PDF is talking about it's a health insurance policy document, let's suppose, and this policy document contains information something like this, which contains policyholder name, its policy number, its sum assured, policy start date, end date, and then some information about the policy. Then we have some information about the renewal, we have some information of the claim. So this may contains more than 10 pages or 15 pages. So this type of information we can find readily on the different PDF, or you can say a health insurance document. Okay, so this so our first objective is to extract the text or extract this information from these PDF document. Okay, so as I mentioned, for an example, we had taken a health insurance policy document. Okay, we will be doing the hands-on demo on these documents. We will have some PDF documents related to health insurance. We'll give that to our model, and model will extract that information from us. Okay, so as I told, it will be segregated into multiple categories. We have a lot of different paragraphs, have different section of information. And what exactly we want to extract? We want to extract the information something like this. So if you had seen in the left hand side, we have the unstructured data, and in the right hand side we have the structured data. So using the extraction tool, using the NLP library, what we had done, we had extracted this unstructured information and stored it in the form of a table. So we had columns like policy holder, we have a policy number, we have provider, plan type, premium amount, sum assured, and so on. So I mean, based on the number of keywords, number of fields that document contains, we can extract that information and store those information in the form of a table. So if we have 1000 of PDFs, so we will have 1000 columns, 1000 rows. Okay, and each row represent a single document. Now we have this document, we have this information in the form of table. We can readily use this table to do some data analytics on top of it. We can integrate this with a BI tool where we can generate some statistics, or we can leverage this information and pass this information to our bots, and those bots will help us to retrieve the result to the user. So how, and like one other use case is that in the in the customer care of the healthcare, right? So instead of going through the complete set of document, they have this data available in their system. When user come query about their document or query about their policy, they can quickly look for their name and extract that information from the database and give to the user. And instead of user, we can replace it with a chatbot. So this is how this complete environment of chatbots, data extraction, everything is clubbed together to give us the complete automate solution. I hope you like this section of information extraction. So in the next section, we will be doing a demo around it, how we extract the data from sample of PDF document. Thank you.